Confrontation and meeting aggressive behaviour is one of the most stressful things professional people can have to deal with. Now, in this video, I want to share with you some work I know you can do to beat confrontation anxiety and to become peacefully masterful at this. Let's go. Now, point number one is to get out of our head. Now, this one comes up a lot in my videos, and you might recognize it if you've been around a while. But that's because when we're up in our head doing all this nervous invoking thinking, that's when we lose our center, and that's where we feel off balance. Now, that's more than just a metaphor, because when you want to get back into your center, one of the best ways to do it is to get out of your head, to put your attention on the center of your body, and imagine that you're processing all the sensory information of the world from that point rather than up here. So it's like everything that you see, everything that you hear, everything that you feel going on around you, it's like you're processing that information here rather than up here. This helps you create head space. It helps you create heart space. And it contributes to what I call groundedness, which is the opposite of living and working from ego, fear, and insecurity. Now, point number two is to not take it personally, because although someone's aggression might be aimed at you, it's not about you. Aggression from any person is always about them and where they are and what they're feeling and what they're going through. It's never about you and where you are. So even though they may be being verbally confrontational towards you, and they might be trying to trigger you with hurtful comments or high pressure statements to get a reaction out of you, it's not really about you. It's about them. It's about something that is not well or not at peace within them. It could be that they're afraid. It could be that they themselves are under stress. It could be that they are being pressured by somebody. So rather than protecting my ego and protecting my feelings by biting back, by becoming counter-aggressive, which will generally only make things worse and inflame things, I find it's much more useful to look at the other person and see what's going on for them. Where's their pressure coming from? Where's their anxiety coming from? By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, do give it the thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications bell so that you'll know when new content like this arrives. Now, with that, point three is to get curious about two things. Number one, them and what's going on for them. And number two, the circumstances, the situation in which you are both in, which presents the problem to be solved. Now, this brings me to the idea of perceptual positions, which is something that's learned a lot in the field of NLP. The idea is that in any kind of interaction between two people, there are always three perceptual positions you can take. In other words, 3 points of view. Point of view number one is your own point of view. That's your experience of this exchange. Position number two is the other person's point of view, their experience of this exchange. And position number three is the neutral observer who is watching the interaction from the outside. One of the greatest and most productive communication skills that we can master is the art of constantly reviewing an interaction from all three of those positions. So that's to check in with what's my experience of this and what's going on for me in this exchange. What are my operational beliefs? What's going on in my world that's causing my reactions? And to be able to switch to the second position, which is to ask, what's going on for me as the other person? What are my operational beliefs here? What is going on for me? What are my values? What's showing up for me that's guiding how I'm responding to this? And then position number three is to step outside and watch both people interacting and make neutral observations about what's going on. By the way, what kinds of confrontation do you find you have to deal with in your work? Please leave a comment. I'll read every comment that's left and I'll reply to as many as I can. Now, point number four is to acknowledge. I sometimes think that when people are exhibiting these kinds of confrontational behaviors, and the confrontational behaviors are tending upwards, I often think it's because there's something that is not getting acknowledged in the other person, and they're trying to get that acknowledged. So when you figure out what it is that's going on for the other person, what's causing them pressure in this situation, what matters to them, then show that you've seen that you've heard it by acknowledging it. Acknowledging where people are coming from and acknowledging what's important to people is often quite useful in getting the level of confrontation to start coming down. People want to be seen, and this shows people that they have been seen. Now, point number 5 is to become outcome-oriented rather than problem-oriented, and to become a problem solver. Now, what I mean by becoming outcome-oriented is it's to recognize what is the problem that we're being presented with, because the problem isn't me, the problem isn't the other person. Anything that's going on in this interaction, including any emotion, is actually symptomatic of the fact that there is some problem to solve. So being outcome oriented is to identify what is the problem that we need to solve, and to become a collaborator with the other person to solve that problem, to metaphorically put the problem on the table and invite the other person to sit with you and look at that problem with you and figure out how do we create some solutions to this problem. By the way, I also have a video on being a problem solver, and that video is going to pop up here. You might want to have a look at that after this. Now, something that will also assist you in this is learning the art of recovering yourself when you do lose your center, when you do get reactivated. Now, for that, I have a free download to a simple 5-step process that you can learn and employ to manage your stress in the moment. And the link to get that is down in the pinned comment and in the description below this video. Now, a good follow-on video to this is this one here, which is all about projecting confidence and presence as a professional person. Or if you've already watched that one, then watch this one here. And don't forget to give this video the thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the notifications bell so that you'll know when more content just like this arrives.